didn't shave yet, even though I lost. So that'll happen soon. Welcome to the Wrestling Council. I'm your host, Comic Book Bob. I'm joined as usual by my good friend, Hollywood Frank.
HW, baby.
We are here each and every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, talking about all the best news in wrestling. We are joined, we've already been joined by Maldacito. He said, "Sup, fellas?"
Sup, Maldacito.
Frank's got control. No, God help us all. He said,
yeah.
"Sup, Maldacito?" And so it's been an interesting day. It's been an interesting week.
Hello, Courtney.
Courtney, what's up, girl? Yeah, yes, I have not done it. I have not shaved my face yet. You'll see that next week. Oh my God! But man, but anyway, AEW Full Gear, man, freaking tastic show. I do have a few thoughts as usual. Pix Villain said, "What's up? Sup, Pix Villain? Thanks for being here, brother."
What's for dinner, Courtney?
But as always, we'd like to start off our show with a segment we call. Frank, you want to hit the graphic this time? Let you drive the bus.
Oh, if I know where it's
called the good, the bad,
the
ugly. I went last week, so this week you get to start it off, Frank.
What could be better than Full Gear, baby?
Yeah, Full Gear.
That's the good. That's the good.
Yeah, awesome show.
Yeah, and for everybody who's there with us, appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes, we had a lot of fun.
It was a great show. Long, like
dude. It was so long. I forgot we were gonna let everybody in during the main event, and my brain just kind of took a crap because at that point we were at the 4-hour mark, and then halfway through it, I was like, "Oh crap!" Then like half the people were gone, so it was like, I think everybody was spent, man.
Yeah, there 10 matches.
Yep.
Saturday night, 10. But that was a good. The bad is unfortunately there's some injuries from Full Gear.
Yeah.
And we'll get into that a little bit later. So that's the bad that came out of Full Gear. Just if you saw that knot on the side of the head by Dax Harwood.
Dax Harwood got busted in the head.
Yeah. That tell you one of the small injuries. And then the ugly. I think it's this Sunday, isn't it? But the ugly is what they continue to doing with Survivor Series.
I'm telling you, man.
Adding people, taking people off. Why?
There's no direction this year.
And Kofi, Xavier Woods has said it. Becky Lynch has said it. Other wrestlers have said it. There's no incentive other than brand superiority. Woo boy. Whoopee. There's nothing right now. There's nothing in it. And Adam Pearce and the WWE have no idea what they're doing because, like I said, on a show by show basis, they're taking people off, putting people on. They took the Mysterios off and replaced them. They've taken people off on both the women and the women's side on SmackDown and haven't replaced them yet, which will happen this Friday. But there might be more people taken off.
Yeah, it's awful, man.
Boogie
said WWE still exists. Well, yeah, kind of. You know, it's limping along, man. Good. Punk versus Kings. Yeah, man. Whew. Punk versus Kings was good. Boogie, if you got the time, man, I dropped the link there. feel free to come in and shoot the shit before you have to jump. I know you got your show tonight, but Johnny Casey, good. The Pillars stole the show. Bad. Cody gotta accept reality. Ugly. That stupid 10-man tag. Yeah. Like there's some things we'll talk about. But anyway,
that was my GB. That's my GBU. What's yours, Bob?
My good. Nearly every match on Full Gear was a four. In my opinion, was a 4-star match. Nearly every match was just awesome, and every match, and even the one match that I did feel was, it still told a story. So every match had story behind it. Every match had build behind it. You know what I mean?
Hello, Andre.
Andrade says hi. But
Andre.
so that was, so good. Obviously, was all the wrestling this weekend, man. New Japan had a fantastic show. We're going to talk about that for a little bit. The bad, same as you, man. The injuries. Omega, Eddie Kingston was injured. Malachi Black. We still don't know the status on Malachi Black. Over on New Japan's Battle in the Valley, Chris Dickinson, nasty injury, man. Torn and dislocated hip. So he's out. He's out for hip surgery. He's gone at least 6 months. So a lot of injuries. Ramet Tanat, dude, I apologize if I butcher your name. But Ramet says, "Good morning from India. Have a great life. You too, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate you stopping in."
Somebody you know.
Boogie said, "If these guys hit 50 viewers, I'll mail it to somebody." Oh, the Andre Funko Pop, legendary Andre Funko Pop. But yeah, man. So that was my bad. The ugly WWE Survivor build has just been freaking laughable. It's been absolutely terrible. The general manager, not the general manager, Adam Pearce, just like they don't know. Seriously, like I know we harp on WWE a lot, but it's justified because they don't have any idea what the hell they want to do. You know, it's like we were talking. They had all that build up to Crown Jewel, and then it got done, and they're like, "Oh crap, we got another figure pay-per-view in 2 weeks. We got to figure out what we're gonna do." So they just started throwing stuff at the wall, and half the booking that they've done makes no sense at all. And there's no build up.
Nope.
Nobody cares. There's no stakes. Nobody cares. It's just, I don't get it. I really don't.
I honestly, my opinion is I think they need to retire the Survivor Series. If they, the last couple of years, the last couple of years has been awful.
Yeah, just replace it with Crown Jewel. You know, just replace it with Crown Jewel. If this is what you're going to do with it, just replace it with something that you do care about. We're talking about how WWE was racist. Where have you been? Some of the crap that's come out of Vince McMahon. Are you kidding me? I thought we were going to shoot Roman candles at the Andre Pop when it's sitting on top of a gas can.
You don't do that.
It's always a race to the next pay-per-views in 3 to 4 weeks. No long-term storytelling that pays off like Paige beating Omega. Yeah, dude. I mean, again, the best storytelling that they had was the Bloodline stuff, and that's trying to become stagnant too. So it's just, I don't know, man. It feels like WWE is just, when it comes to storytelling and building their brand and their stars, it's like they're spinning the wheels, man. It really is. There's no growth.
I was listening to Cornette the other day, and he was talking about how before they used to have the WrestleMania card already set and go backwards from that.
Yeah, it was just.
So you already knew we already knew what your planned main events were at WrestleMania, and you used pay-per-views in March, February, January, December to set up what was going to happen in April. Yeah,
that was because it was always that the new season started with the Royal Rumble. And the Royal Rumble, and then from there they would build and build and build and build. But they don't do that anymore. It's just ridiculous. But Wyndham. Ramit says Wyndham Rotunda AEW Full Gear rumors gain 8 out of 10 TRP ratings. Yeah, so there was a rumor that they had plans for him to debut at Full Gear, but they scrapped them for obvious reasons because of his him going to do a movie in Hollywood and stuff like that. So I know those rumors haven't been completely verified, but supposedly that's the working rumor right now. Johnny K said, "Oh, can Jay Lethal be Andrade's manager? Discount Flair is better than no Flair." Survivor Series used to be my favorite pay-per-view, but boy, I could care less now. Yeah, see, that's the problem, man. There's no build. There's absolutely no build. Like right now, I'm trying to. I don't even remember what's the card at this point.
It's Charlotte versus Becky. I know that.
Yeah. Card man. Here we go. Here's the card. Biggie versus Roman. We knew that was coming.
Yep.
That's the build for that has been okay. That's what it's mostly because of their interaction with Xavier Woods. Charlotte versus Becky, which will be a good match, but it's like we've seen it. Does anybody care? Not really. Team Raw, Rollins, Balor, Owens, was Mysterio. Now it's Austin Theory and Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre, Xavier Woods, Jeff Hardy, Happy Corbin, and one to be. Have they even decided who the one to be decided is?
No, not yet. They'll announce that this Friday on SmackDown.
Yeah,
for the men and the women.
Yeah, could have been Sami Zayn, but not allowed
he's gone. Yeah, he on. Going back. Go ahead.
Then it was Belair, Ripley, Morgan, Zelina Vega, and Carmella versus Sasha Banks, Shotzi Blackheart, who's no longer Blackheart, Shayna Baszler, Natalya, and somebody else.
Yep. Going back to the men's on Raw, was it last week? They got
last week they replaced
they replaced Dominic. Why? Because Adam Pearce said he wanted champions. That's why he took out Dominic. But then you take out Mysterio, Ray, and replace him with Austin Theory. What title has Austin Theory? What title has Austin Theory won?
Yeah.
What world champion has he won? Championship has he won?
And it was the whole and that's the thing. Like supposedly the angle was that Pierce was being a heel, an authority figure heel, even though he's not the general manager. I'm like, yeah, he is. He's doing everything a general manager does. So, but there's no authority anymore. Whatever. Yeah. And then there was the whole inserting Austin Theory is like, okay, whatever. Then they just threw together Nakamura versus Priest, which match will be okay, but it's like, why? RK Bro versus the Usos, which will be good. That's probably the one match I'm looking at this here and going, okay, I really want to see that match. I want to see RK Bro versus the Usos. But the build up for and Biggie versus Roman will be like I said, the matches themselves will be okay. Biggie versus Roman will be pretty good. Charlotte versus Becky, we both know they can go, but does Charlotte even give a crap anymore? It's like I said, the build to this and all the talk coming out backstage. All the talk coming out backstage is that nobody who's in it cares either.
Yeah.
So it's like it's so lackadaisical. It's just so meh. That's the feeling in the WWE locker room with all the talent. They're just like, we know we can get fired at any moment. Nobody really cares, and we're done. It's like Malachi said. Honestly, I'm tired of Mysterio getting buried by WWE. He makes them a ton of merchandise and and still popular just to show his son as weak and him never winning a match anymore. Dominic, this was my biggest fear with Dominic being on the main roster from the jump. Is he was going to get a push in the beginning, to try to establish him. We know the guy's got a good work ethic, I've always said that he needs to work like a little more like a bigger guy. He's not doesn't have his dad's agility. He doesn't have his dad's speed, so he keeps trying to pull his dad's moves, and it just doesn't work. But he obviously is putting in the work. He's gotten better in the ring. It's just when he tries to do those speed and agility moves is when he looks a little slow and suspect. But we knew what was going to happen to him, dude. We knew that he was going to get there, that he's going to basically get jobbed out because he doesn't fit Vince's mold.
And McMahon was high on him when he first came up there too.
Yeah, for 10 minutes. Vince is like a guy who gets a new toy, sees all this potential in it, and then about a month later he's bored.
Yeah. And they're supposedly building up to a program with Ray versus Dominic.
Yeah, where
father,
he's going to drop
father versus son. So
yeah, and supposedly he wants Ray to take over the Mysterio name, and because they never called him Rey Mysterio Jr. in WWE, they just called him Rey Mysterio. Yeah. So
talk about Dominic, not Ray.
Next time Ring of Honor and Impact Wrestling will be hired by All Elite. No other company wrestler will be hired. We know that Tony Khan has his eye on at least 3 or 4 people from Ring of Honor.
Hopefully the Briscoes.
Yeah, with like I said, if he was smart, he I was surprised by Jay Lethal. I thought Jay Lethal was going back to Impact, but I'm not sad that he's there. But yeah, the Briscoes, Jonathan Gresham, I would snatch them up in a heartbeat. The Guardian of Chaos, Big Daddy says, "Yo, yo, yo! What you think about the pay-per-view, Big Daddy?" Appreciate you stopping in, brother. Yeah, guys, definitely check out Big Daddy's YouTube channel. This guy is he's an encyclopedia of wrestling knowledge.
Yeah, I know Boogie loved the pay-per-view. He was going off about it.
Dude, I thought it was a fantastic. I thought every match, with the exception of the women's match, was a 4-star match.
But started out hot with MJF and Darby Allin.
Yes.
And then just got even better with the tag match.
Yeah. MJF, Darby Allin. And then I love the fact that MJF won the match, even though I know a lot of people they didn't like the fact that he won the match. They wanted Darby to win. I love the fact that MJF won the match with the side headlock takedown. Full Gear was a hard 8 as opposed to a soft 7. Yep. I agree
with that.
I agree. I thought the women's match was the weakest. It showed how much both Britt and Ty Conti have improved, but how far they still have to improve. Right. When it comes to her presentation, her mic skills and everything, Britt is awesome. When she steps into the ring, she just doesn't have the ability to carry a match. Okay, you think about that match that she had with Thunder Rosa. A lot of that was due to Thunder Rosa. Now, will Britt get there? I think she will. She's just not there yet. Pacing of the event was to say, yeah, man. They didn't have like a legit slowdown match so that the crowd could kind of recharge. It was just from the start,
Yeah, and that tag match with as many near falls as they had in there.
It was awesome.
Yeah, first 3 matches were incredible with Bryan Danielson and Miro is the third match.
Yep. But the highlights for me, that tag team match, Lucha Bros versus FTR, was awesome. Yeah, exactly, Malacita. She's not a general, but she's a good soldier. That's a really good way of putting it. But the Danielson versus Miro, I thought Miro was going to take that match, dude. I really did. I know, and I know that the idea is that it's too soon for him to lose a match, but if you're going to lose, that's a match that I would do it. That I think he'd be able to absorb. But Lucha Bros versus FTR, that was like that, and the Punk Kingston match. Those were my 2 highlights in a night of really, really good matches.
Talk about this, All Elite Keith Lee. I can't see Keith Lee, or maybe I'd be wrong, but I don't think either one of them is coming to AEW.
Well, I mean, dude, I didn't think Jay Lethal was coming to AEW. But he did. I thought he was going to go back to Impact. I
And I
could
don't know
see. I see. FTR and Lucha Bro chemistry is a little off. Same as their match in AAA. I could see that, but man, their in-ring work was so good. I mean, you're talking about you're talking about FTR, who in my opinion is one of the three best tag teams in the world right now. Lucha Brothers, I think, is one of the best tag teams in the world right now. Their styles, I think that what caused that is their styles are so different. Because the FTR is such a what they're what we think of when we think of good old fashioned smash mouth technical tag team wrestling.
Yeah,
Lucha Brothers are just so high flying and everything.
Like Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard.
Yeah, it's like, dude, you guys, Arn and Tully got to be looking at watching them guys and be like, did they clone us? did they come into the ring after we bled at some point and steal our blood and just create two in vitro babies? But man, that Kingston Punk match, dude. We talked about how good they are at ring psychology and just getting them over the crowd. By the end of that match, that was one of the things that made me scratch my head and wonder what the hell was going on. Was the mask spot like why the pulling out the green masks? That was just weird. And that's the one thing I will say is that there were some weird finishes to these matches.
But to know that Dax Harwood was hurt, and he was the legal man at that time, and he couldn't go to finish the match.
Yeah, I'm wondering if
they put the mask on. They put the mask on so nobody could tell. Obviously, he could tell because of the tattoo on his left shoulder blade.
Yeah,
but you can't tell who it is because they got the mask on. So that's why Cash Wheeler got pinned instead of Dax.
Yeah, I mean, I know what they were trying to do, but it was just like Big Daddy said, it was kind of botched.
Right. And they'll use that for a rematch because the wrong guy got pinned. He wasn't the legal man in the ring.
And that's actually something I was going to touch on is the Kingston Punk match was the shortest match of the entire night. It was only I think it was like 12 minutes. But man, they put so much, dude. When Punk did the 5 moves of doom, the Cena thing.
Mm-hmm.
And he put his hand up, but he didn't do the you can't see me bit. Dude, the friggin' crowd lost it. Oh my God, man! You talk about a callback. But the fact that Kingston in a match with CM Punk had that crowd split.
Yeah, Punk was getting booed.
Half the crowd was booing Punk at one point, and then but then there was at least 3 times they had split chance.
Yeah, I like Punk's ring attire too.
Yeah, I liked it because it was like he was in there with in boxing trunks. He's like letting them know like this ain't gonna be a wrestling match, this is gonna be a fight. So and just dude, the psychology in that match, the emotion match, the connection that they made to the crowd. I don't think there was any other match, with the exception of maybe the World Championship match, that had that kind of connection going on. And
what's up, Leg Kick?
What's up, Leg Kick? Leg Kick says, "Hail, everybody, hail the chat." Red stars on Punk. Yep. But yeah, dude, like those 2 matches were the big matches for me. I said the only real weak matches I thought the women's match was kind of weak. Like I said, we went over why that is. And obviously the Minneapolis street fight was just goofy as shit. It was, I mean, it was basically just Dan Lambert's basically a stand-in for Jim Cornette, and just we knew exactly what that match was going to be. That match was just going to be ridiculous.
I was.
I didn't hate it. It was just like, if anybody watched that match expecting any kind of technicality, you were sorely disappointed.
Yeah, I was a little surprised that the other members of the top team didn't come down to the ring.
I'm very surprised that yeah, that there wasn't more interference or something like that.
Because especially with the smack talk on I can't remember her name. That's part of the group that Jericho did to her. Like, I'm surprised she didn't come down. I'm surprised she didn't come down to the ring and
I
do something.
100% thought that she was going to have. If anyone's going to be interfered, it was going to be her. And it didn't happen. And I'm like, oh, okay. But dude, like I still say, if you really wanted to get heat on them, and I felt like the men of the year needed Scorpio Sky and Paige needed the win more than the Inner Circle did. But man, imagine the heat if they lost and Dan Lambert's in the ring just talking shit. You know, that's the way I would have done it.
Yeah, and then you got
yes, Lambert should manage Peyton Sky. Lambert is that guy is nuclear heat.
he's not as nuclear as MJF though.
Well, who could be? You're talking about arguably the best heel in the business today.
Yeah.
This guy's amazing. And he's only he's 25 this year?
24, 25, something like that. And then
that's exactly what I would do, Big Daddy. Lambert is just, like I said, the guy is nuclear heat.
Let's see what Black Machismo can do with against Sammy Guevara on Wednesday night.
I like Jay Lethal, man. I'm not sad that he's there. Like I said, I was kind of shocked, but because I thought he was going to go to Impact.
Right. I thought there'd be more surprise, either run-ins or surprise guests on the show.
I think, well, like I said, if you, depending on who you believe, there was supposedly supposed to be, another debut. Of course, if the fact that Tony Khan has not come out and refuted it or anything, and the fact that they're basically not talking about it, lends a little bit of legitimacy to it, in my opinion. But yeah, like if because if he had showed up last night, he lost it. Yeah. The crowd would have freaking lost it. What's up?
Boom. Adam Cole, baby.
Yeah. And Lethal will win the TNT title, mark it down. Oh, yeah. I agree 100%.
Adam Cole and the Young Bucks versus Jurassic Express and Christian Cage.
Yeah. That was that match. Okay. I liked the match. I thought it was fun. Man, does AEW's camera work need to improve.
I was not a fan of the pink. The bright pink that the Young Bucks were
wearing. I think that was the whole point, though. That it was supposed to be annoying, because if you watch Being the Elite, they talked about it. They talked about the fact that they wanted to do that. Any news about Mickie James and Rosemary joining AEW Women's Division? No, Mickie James is with NWA. Yeah, she's building the Women's Division over there.
She's a champion.
Well, yeah. she's the Impact champion.
Yeah.
But as far as there being crossover, I imagine that there'll be some more crossover. I mean, we NWA, especially with the women's division in AEW, there's been a lot of crossover there. And NWA women showing up over in AEW, AEW women showing up in NWA. So that I think is the focus of their collaboration right now. So Big Daddy, when you say he's going to win the title, do you think he's going to take it off of Sammy Guevara? So you think Lethal will win it this Wednesday?
Wow.
I think he'll definitely win it at some point down the road. I don't know if he's going to win it this Wednesday.
Yeah,
if he did, holy shit, dude! Can you imagine if he freaking beats Sammy Guevara this Wednesday just out of the blue like that? Man, talk about shooting a guy to the top immediately. But yeah, but like I said, the only two matches that were really kind of meh to me was and one of them I expected 100% was the Minneapolis Street Fight and the women's championship. Like I said, I liked Cage and Jurassic Express versus the Super Click, but man, that camera work's got to shore up, dude. Because that thing where you can see them all getting up and standing there and waiting them for them to land. That took to me that move. Here's the thing. That friggin' shooting star press that Luchasaurus did was awesome. Seeing a big dude do a move like that was awesome. But the setup up for it was bad.
Yeah, and then it's like that climb that Cage did on the scaffolding to jump off. So just stuff like that.
It kills the matches to me.
It's not needed when you're doing something like that because the guys are just gonna be standing there waiting to catch them.
Yeah.
And no matter how good the camera angle is, it's just awful.
If you're gonna do stuff like that, you need to like pre-plan it. Because it's just like I said, it was one of the glaring things about AEW when they first started was all the milling about and just like I said, like JR thought of milling around like a bunch of friggin' lemmings, waiting for someone to come off the top rope, off the top turnbuckle. That was one of their problems in the beginning. They got better at it, obviously. They stopped doing it quite as much. But yeah, like that was the big thing that pulled me out of that match. The other thing was, like we talked about, man, a lot of people got dumped on their freaking head, dude. Oh my God. Everybody, and I'm glad that I'm not the only person that noticed it. Because every show that I listen to, every podcast I listen to, they all mention it. They're like, man, there was a lot of times where I was like, okay, if that dude's not injured, he's lucky as hell.
And you already got Lance Archer out. Now, Lance Archer did it to himself, but he's out with a concussion.
Yeah, agreed.
Because he misrotated, but
yeah, and like we said, we talked about all the injuries, and that's another thing. Like we knew that Omega was working injured.
Both shoulders.
And, both shoulders. And he actually, you ever see that show with the chiropractor? His name's Hightower. I can't remember his last name. The rest of his name. Sure. Omega. The last episode was him adjusting Kenny before Full Gear, and Kenny was talking about like he can't even. Kenny's shoulders are so messed up, he can't even press. He can't like this, like
barbell
press. Yeah, he can't. He can lift a bar and that's it.
Yeah.
Like you think about think about that. He's that injured, but he's putting it on matches like this. Holy shit, dude! What a friggin' trooper!
And then was it Matt Jackson that was banged up before the pay-per-view?
Matt Jackson, yeah, he had an ankle. His ankle was banged up, but he got checked out, and they said he was fine, so he was okay during the match. But Kingston's shoulder, they did come out and they said that he got his shoulder looked at. There's no damage, no major damage or anything. He just got banged up.
Malachi got banged up.
Malachi got banged up. They haven't released anything about him yet.
Yeah, he was supposed to be at some Comic-Con or something or some kind of convention.
Him and Kingston both. They both
had to pull out, yeah. And then, like I mentioned before at the beginning of the show, that knot on the side of the head for Dax Harwood, it's like right about here.
Yeah, he had a huge knot like right here. Yeah. I don't know about Tony Khan buying Impact, but I imagine that their collaboration will continue because it helped Impact a lot. Not saying that, but at least AEW getting Archer the time to heal and not just giving him a couple of days and shooting him back out. Yeah, like in fact, from what I've been hearing, it's actually harder for AEW is all about like put people on the shelf, letting them heal until they're done. The people who have returned from injury a little faster than expected has always been the wrestler's choice. But AEW has been very adamant about, you know what, we want to make sure that you're okay. So that's something that they've done from day one, which is good. But real quick, we talked about New Japan a little bit. I wanted to touch on because we wanted to talk about the fallout from Full Gear. We're getting some more crossover with New Japan. This week on Dynamite, Tomohiro Ishii is supposed to appear, paying off the whole thing where Tony Khan said, "Hey, invite some of your Chaos friends." And I think that is going to build towards some things happening at Wrestle Kingdom. Because real quick, at the New Japan had their Battle in the Valley show here in the U.S. Bronson Reed made his debut there, so that's cool. Tomohiro Ishii, like I said, is appear on Dynamite. Will Ospreay and Okada and Kazuchika Okada had a face-off. in which they had some back and forth, and they set the night 2 main event will be Will Ospreay versus Kazuchika Okada after the night 1 main event, which is Okada versus Shingo Takagi for the world title. So I think Okada's going to win the world title from Shingo, and then he's going to lose it to Ospreay.
Possible. Is Buddy Murphy going to be any of that?
No. Well, Buddy, that's the guy that Okada wrestled at pay-per-view. He wrestled him at which was a pretty good match. No, I wouldn't call it a 4-star match. Yeah, the Wheeler Yuta and Rocky Romero skit was funny on BT. Yeah, and that's more callback to stuff happening between AEW and New Japan. So I think we're going to get some AEW talent on Wrestle Kingdom because, like I said, it's 3 friggin' nights, man. Yeah. I think that's why they're doing what they're doing here. I think that's part of why Okada's in the U.S. Okada and Ishii are in the U.S. I think they're going to build some stuff there. And I think it's possible that we could see some stuff happening between Kenny and Ibushi because there was a lot of talk about that during the build-up with him and Hangman. But let's talk about the fallout from that match in particular, man. The nod heard around the world, man, with the Bucks coming out at the end, and they could have stopped Hangman from taking out Kenny.
They could have.
We're like, nope, we're going to step back, and then. Again, paying off the storytelling between these guys. Who were the 2 guys that had the most heat in that storyline? It was Matt Jackson and Hangman. Remember, who's the guy that Hangman kept flicking off? Who's the guy that Hangman had problems with? All the way from the start, it was Matt Jackson. And at the end, who's the guy that gives Hangman the nod? It's Matt Jackson, man. Come on, man. What a payoff. That was so freaking awesome. Also, my really good is Black Tiger 4 versus American Dragon on Rampage. There you go. But, yeah, man, so where does it go from here, man? What do you think?
Oh, well, you got Bryan Danielson is now the number one not the number one contender. He has a title shot whenever. Tony Khan hasn't come out to say when it's going to be, but
right.
I think you had to say that for a pay-per-view, honestly.
Right.
You don't want to just throw it up on Rampage or Dynamite, unless it's somewhere special or something like that, or California or something to do it. Whenever they get out there, I can understand doing something like that, but. You want Hangman to have a run with the title. You don't want to waste the opportunity for Bryan Danielson. Mm-hmm. And then so I think it's going to be a while before that match happens.
Well, we've seen when what was it, Brian Cage won the title eliminator match. Won the casino match.
Yep.
His match didn't happen for 3 or 4 months. It took a while. Was it Lance Archer? It was when Lance Archer won it,
right?
Because remember he beat Kingston, yeah. When he won it, yeah, it took at least 2 or 3 months before he got his match. So they don't have to have the Bryan Danielson match happen immediately.
No. And with Kenny out with the shoulder issues, I mean,
yeah. And I again, gotta give that guy a freaking nod. A tip of the hat for working injured like that for so long.
Yeah, him and Don Callis will be off for a little while, and then you just do whatever with the Young Bucks. Maybe put them with Hangman.
Well, I mean that, or we could see, like I said, we could see Adam Cole step in as the leader, and then when Kenny comes back, they're like, "Yeah, we don't need you."
I like to see. They have 2. They'll have 3 soon. Yeah. I don't know if they'll ever get the 4th, but they're close to having 3 of the 4 guys from
Undisputed Era
on AEW.
Yeah,
it's coming.
I mean, it wouldn't shock me, and I'd love to see it because because what did we talk about the whole time? It was the Elite versus the Undisputed Era. But yeah, like I would like to see, like, I mean, everywhere you drop rock, and like I said, we love, that's one of the things we love is speculating what they're going to do and everything, whatnot. I
There's
just want
what
to see, I want to see Kenny and Ibushi, dude. I just, like I said, it's a storyline, like it's a storyline 10 years in the making. The fight will be at Winter is Coming, and Wyndham is going to, okay, Wyndham Rotunda is going to interfere. I could see that.
Yeah, isn't this movie starting to shoot next month?
Yeah, it's an independent film though. It's not like a huge release. It's a horror film, so it'll probably have a shooting schedule of like 3 months or so.
Yeah, but I said this before. I'll say it again. I think the 6-man tag is coming soon to AEW.
Yeah, I think that's the next title that they're going to introduce. Because there's so many trios already. You know, you got Dark Order, you got Jurassic Express, you've got Super Click. You could have a 6-man in the Pinnacle. You got the Dark Order. Like I said, there's tons of them right now. Under the Disputed Dynasty versus the Elite. Yeah, but like I said, with the injuries and stuff, and where they're going right now, it's a little difficult to figure out what's going to happen next. I do think we're going to get some more New Japan bleed over. I definitely think we're going to get some more guys from Ring of Honor.
Yeah,
and but the storyline between CM Punk and Eddie Kingston, that's not over, man. I don't think that's over. I don't think that's going to be over till Mox gets back.
And bring on the Briscoes. That'll be great.
Oh God, dude!
It's all I want. That's all I want.
From your lips to God's ears, man. Like I said, dude, like how awesome would a faction be with the Briscoe, with Moxley, Kingston, and the Briscoes? That's a friggin' hell yeah, man. There's gold right there. And like people have talked about, they want Eddie to be the world champion. I don't think Eddie's going to. I can see it. I don't think Eddie's ever going to be the world champion.
No.
I think Eddie was brought in to do exactly what he's been doing. He's there to be a firebrand. He's there to, and like I could see him maybe holding the TNT title. I don't think they're ever going to put the world title on him. And I know a lot of people are going to be upset by that, and a lot of people are going to disagree. To me, the way that they've booked him, the way that he's been presented, I don't think they're ever going to put the belt on him.
No,
but I could definitely see them. Too. I could definitely see them putting a 6-man tag on him. If they with a team like the Briscoes, like him and the Briscoes.
Yep.
I could see that, or a tag. Yes, I could see Eddie being tag team champions with Mox. That's a possibility. And I could see Eddie being in a 6-man and maybe holding the TNT title. I just don't see them putting him in a world title program. Not at his age, and just not the way that he's been presented. Could be wrong. I wouldn't be mad. Like I said, man, that match was friggin' fire. But that's where, at least that's where I see things at right now.
Yeah,
like Dustin, yes, exactly, man. Steel, like Dustin.
Even the kickoff show on Saturday night with the women's tag match was pretty good.
Yeah, Rose and Hayter versus Shida and Thunder Rosa.
Yep. Yeah,
that was good. And I know why they put that match on the pre-show, which thank God they did, because man, another thing that AEW's got to do, you got to shorten these freaking shows, man. 4.5 hours, dude. That's worse than that was like, remember before they went 2 days with WrestleMania, and WrestleMania was like almost 5 hours long.
I thought it was 6, but
with all the lead up and everything, it was 6. But I was like, no, you can't do that, man. This match, like, dude, like I said, that 6. There are 2 matches in this that didn't need to be there. The 6-man tag match, the Super Click versus Jurassic Express. As much as I liked it, didn't need to be on pay-per-view.
And the 10-man match
and the Minneapolis Street Fight didn't need to be on freaking pay-per-view, dude. And it didn't need to be, and they didn't need to be as long as they were. Almost every match was at least 20 minutes plus.
Yeah,
I'm like, this doesn't need it. The women's match they could have shortened that women's match to 10, 12 minutes, and it would have been a lot better than it was.
And no offense to the women's match, but by that time,
Everyone was dead.
The excitement was over. It's
That's
like, oh my God.
that's
We've
what
been
I'm
here
saying, man.
we've been here 3 hours.
They
Like, oh
needed they needed a slowdown match. They needed
we've been
a
here
like
3
a quick
hours. We still
a
got
quick
but
like a quick 5 minute slowdown match, like the last pay per view, man, when they had that Big Show squash match.
yeah,
You know,
been
we
here
could have
3
done
hours.
something like that and just let people breathe for a second.
Yeah, been here 3 hours, so we got 3 more matches.
Dude, we were just watching it on television, and by the time we were like, "Is it over yet? Here we go." Dude, I had to go to work that night after that. I was like, I guarantee you, I'm falling asleep when I get to work. So
Yeah, I agree, Mouse. They could have cut out the traditional tag part because
yes,
you had these guys standing around the ring and just 2 guys going at it. But it's a street fight.
yeah, it's a street fight. There's
Why
no
is
reason
everybody
for these
standing
tags.
around why is everybody standing in the apron except for 2 guys? Just start wailing on each other, bring stuff in, bring plunder, and just go.
It would have been better, in my personal opinion, if as the inner circle was coming out, they got jumped by the by the rest of the members of America Top Team. If they'd been jumped by those guys coming out, and then you just went straight to the craziness. You know, 10 minutes of that, you're out, you're done, call it good. But yeah, like I said, it was too damn long. I did quit, but that was one of my last nights.
You hitting the bullet again?
Quit on Monday.
But, are you hitting the bullet again, Bob?
No.
No.
Spicy juice.
Spicy juice. Spiced apple cider, huh?
Yes. But yeah, it was like I said, and this is nitpicking, obviously, man, because it was a great show, like we said. But man, these you got to cut these pay-per-views, man. It went down hard. Holy crap. But these pay-per-views got to be like 3.5 hours, man. Where was Andrade's mouthpiece? That was his whole gimmick in UFC. Andre Arlovsky. Yeah. Dude, that whole, man, like I said, anybody watching that match that expected them to be pulling off like smooth moves and stuff like that, man, you were sorely disappointed. I expected that match to be the train wreck that it was. I
expected more blood too.
I expected a lot of blood in this show, and we only got a little bit in comparison to what I was expecting.
Excuse me. Adam Cole had more blood than anything else.
Punk, holy jeez, dude.
Oh yeah, Punk too.
When he gigged, it was like, dang, son. But yeah. So I wonder. I do like what I did like coming out of the 6-man tag was the maturity of the maturing of Jungle Boy as Adam as who was it that said it? Wasn't Jim Ross. I think it was Tony Schiavone. He called him Jungle Adolescent because he was a little more aggressive, and he got a little, he got in there, and he's the one who hit. Was it Cole that got hit with the concerto, or was it? No, it was Matt Jackson.
No, it was Jackson.
It was I can't remember if it was Nick or Matt, but yeah, he's the one who did the concerto on it. So, Darby Allin versus MJF. Do you think that feud's over? I don't think so.
No.
I think that's gonna escalate to something else.
Yeah.
Punk versus Kingston is definitely not over.
Yeah, if they would have pulled off Lambert's tracksuit, he probably would have just had it
tidy whities.
Around it, tidy whities.
Yeah, do the what was it? God, who was it they did that to in WWE? He had like stains.
They had Jimmy. They did it one time to Jimmy Hart, and he had his red skivvies on.
No, but who was it that they pulled his clothes off, and he had his underwear and his he had tidy whities and they had streaks in them? Wasn't Briscoe? Who was it? I can't remember.
Wasn't Coachman? Was it?
No. I can't remember who it was. What do you think? Which is next? WWE wrestler who will move to AEW? I really think Kevin Owens is leaving. I think they're trying to woo him and keep him, but I think him and
Zayn.
Him and Sami Zayn both, I think, are done.
Yeah, I think Kyle O'Reilly's done too.
Yeah, Malcito. Nothing is over. Nothing.
That ladder spot though that Sammy Guevara did, that was
dude. He's also he's unofficially, but he's hurting after that, dude. He did his vlog and he was like, "I'm not feeling good."
all ass ladder.
So all right, so we got to talk about the 500-pound elephant in the room, man. We got to talk about Pac and Cody versus Malachi Black and Andre Elidolo. Dude, Brian Cage is going to just. I think he is too. I don't think he's happy at I think he thought he was going to be a bigger part of AEW, but the sizzle wasn't there. I like Brian Cage, but I think he's 100% the kind of guy that WWE is looking for. Yep. But the thing is, I don't think WWE wants him because I think Brian Cage is in what? He's like 35.
I don't know.
I'm gonna look it up real quick. Brian Cage. He's also he's 37, dude. Although he's the kind of ready-made guy that Vince would freaking love. But let's talk about this thing because you heard that Cody deleted his social media.
Yeah, no more Twitter.
No more Twitter. A lot of people are not happy.
Instagram only.
Yeah, a lot of people are not happy with the way Pac has been booked as of late. They feel like he should be more in the title mix, whichever title it is, either the world title or the TNA title. They don't like the way he's been booked, but the big thing, Cody Rhodes getting booed to death. So, and the whole thing with him refusing. So, what do you think this is intentional? Do you think this is the storyline? So, people have said there's three theories. One, Cody thinks that he can eventually win everybody back over, which is why he doesn't. And Cody just flat out doesn't want to be a heel anymore. He's been a heel for a long time. He loved the fact that everybody loved him up until about 6 or 7 months ago. He wants to be a heel. I mean, he wants to be a face. He just wants to be a face. But then there's also the thing, and that thing is that he thinks he can eventually win everybody back over. Then there's also the statement that he made about him. He's the John Cena of AEW. Which it's the things he's saying and the things he's doing. The other theory that people think is that they're trying to book Cody as a heel who thinks he's a face. That's one of the other theories. The other theory is that he's just going to go full on heel. Is that it's a slow burn to him becoming a heel. Me personally, I think it's the latter. I think it's a slow burn to Cody turning heel. Or maybe he really does think he's like Cena, and he's just going to be like Cena, where he knows half the crowd's going to cheer him, half the crowd's going to boo him.
Yep.
I think that's the more realistic possibility. I think that he's just like, I'm not going to turn heel, even though that's what you guys want, because I don't want to. So, what do you think?
I think
because everybody's split on this thing, man.
I think he's better off being a heel.
I do too. But I don't think he wants to be. I think he wants to be what he was when AEW first started. He was the most over babyface in the business. But then other things started to bleed into the company, and like him doing all the Hollywood stuff and him being, the corporate guy. And that just turned a lot of people off. Malcito, see, that's the thing. A lot of people think that he's doing a Homelander gimmick where he's he's a heel who thinks he's a face. And he's trying to exude that kind of thing, where he's like, he's just, people just don't like him and he's refusing to accept it. And then at some point he's just going to explode. Or I think he just thinks he's going to, like, he thinks that eventually everybody will shift back. He'll run into a heel so dashed like MJF. Because that's a big part of what put him over and what made him such a big face was his dealings with MJF. Like that is like because MJF is so good at just getting heat on himself, but without an MJF to go up against, Cody has just kind of turned into what people they just naturally didn't like the fact that he was very corporate.
Yep, and then you got the whole thing with Malachi Black. I mean, he's getting cheered.
Yep,
when he's over there with Cody Rhodes. So that's
Malachi Black, who is straight ganking people, and it is like basically walking out like he's a demon, is getting cheered, and Cody, who's like dressing himself in the flag, is getting booed. So if they are doing, like, again, we know that they are really, really good at long-term storytelling. So if he is doing a Homelander thing, I would not be shocked at all.
The dumbest thing Cody did was this, getting that neck tattoo.
Yeah, well, a lot of people think also is the continued, like, a lot of people don't like Brandy. They like looking at Brandy. They like Brandy walking out in the ring. They don't like Brandy getting involved. Whether you agree with that or you disagree with that. It's what a lot of them feel. They don't want Brandy. They don't want Brandy to wrestle in the ring. And I kind of see that because she's not that good. And they don't want her involved in his matches. The Elite humanized Cody with that no gravity. Well, that's the other thing. I also think the fact that Cody distanced himself from the Elite, I think that hurt him in the long run as well. But I think he distanced himself from them because he knew they were going heel. They were going to go heel. He didn't want to go heel, so that's why he distanced himself from them. But when that happened, the distancing himself from the Elite started a long time ago, though. Yep. Slowly pulling himself away from them. And I think a lot of people didn't like that. They're like, what the hell are you doing? And that led into the whole corporate image thing, which is something that Cody has leaned in hard on. So again, is it deliberate or is it just unintentional? And I think it's friggin' awesome that we have to sit here and ask that question, because if it is that kind of storytelling, holy shit, it's going to be awesome when it finally comes to fruition, and we get the reveal of this thing. It's going to be friggin' awesome.
Yeah. And part of what Cody does, he reminds me a little bit of the best of the world crap that Shane McMahon was pulling.
Yeah,
that's what it feels like with Cody.
It feels very Vince McMahon, Shane McMahon. It feels very it feels very much like the Authority. So Ramit asks, any rumors about Jeff Hardy moving to AEW? No, I know Jeff Hardy has a lot of time left in his career on his contract with WWE, though, at least a couple of years. Just shows no matter how smart you are, you can still work the marks. Yes, exactly, dude. Exactly. It's this. If this is a storyline, they've got us bit hook, line, and sinker. I do find it odd in one single company, the Elite and Cody's crew just don't cross paths. I think what's going to happen is, okay, we know Omega's leaving for a couple of months. More than likely, he's leaving for a couple months to get surgery. We know that Hangman is going to be the top guy.
Yep.
We know that there's going to be fallout between Kenny and the Bucks over the nod.
And it could be Adam Cole in the Bucks too.
And it could be Adam Cole in the Bucks too. We know there's going to be fallout from that. there's a lot of directions that this thing could go. One of them, I think, it's possible that this could be the beginning of Kenny returning as a face. Comes back, and basically he said, I had a lot of time, like I had a lot of time to think. I had a lot, and he basically apologizes to Hangman. And then, you got the Super Click going, what the hell are you doing, man? It's like we did this for you. Like, again, bringing that thing full circle, where Kenny said, I came to this company for you, and I expected you to have my back. Well, the Bucks turned heel for Kenny. So now Kenny's coming out and going, wait a minute, what are you doing? We did this for you. So now so basically, and then that's a possibility of getting Kenny and Ibushi and Hangman versus the Super Click. You could have something like that. That's one of a myriad of possibilities that could happen. And I love the fact that this is what this storytelling is doing. It's creating all these avenues and possibilities that they could go down. And it makes us as fans look at it and going, just like I said, we're sitting here jock rocking this in our head. Like I said, there's it could end up Cody coming back and crushing everybody. There's so many possibilities here.
And it's something WWE can't wrap their head around. And do.
It's so disappointing, man. There's so much talent at WWE.
The creative has no idea what they're doing in WWE.
No
idea.
And it makes me sad. I like you said, we don't want to see WWE fail. I don't want to see them, like people's like, WWE's done, and we're like, I don't want to see that. I want to see them right the ship. But Moss says, or now hear me out. Cody turns heel and reforms the Horsemen. You guys are never gonna let me get that shit go. We go for that, man. Dude, like I said, I think that I still say that was the plan, and that COVID kicked the legs out from underneath it. So, come at me if you disagree. You're wrong. But anyway, yeah, man, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens. I'm really excited for Dynamite this week, man.
Yeah,
in fact, was it Thursday? Man, I wish that my D&D night wasn't on Thursday, man.
Rob lives and breathes a new Four Horsemen.
God damn it, yes, man. I need it to happen. I need it to happen in my life.
What about Thursday?
I said I wish that Thursday wasn't my D&D night, because I would live stream reactions to Dynamite. This coming Dynamite, especially, man. Dude, when I hear friggin' Ishii's friggin' theme song Stone Pitbull play, I'm gonna lose my crap, man. See. Here's the thing, guys. I'm a New Japan mark. You guys know that, and the reason why I'm so excited for this collaboration between AEW and New Japan is these guys that they're gonna bring over here from New Japan are so talented, man. They are ridiculously talented. The world needs to know more about these. The world needs to know these guys. They really do. Smart marks know about them, but the mainstream, the normies don't. They've never heard of these guys before, or barely, if anything. And they're too good for people not to know about them, because AEW wouldn't exist without New Japan. And I'm excited to see guys like Ishii and Tanahashi and Okada and Ibushi, Shingo, Naito, all those guys. I'm excited for them to show up here. I mean, look at the event that Minoru Suzuki coming over here. Look at the event that turned into, man. That crowd, when he came out, that crowd was losing their shit. That's Murder Grandpa coming out the friggin' curtain, man. These guys need to be known. These guys need to be known, and that's what I love about this thing. So. But anyway, guys,
why would you live stream Rampage or Dynamite on Thursday when it's on Wednesday?
Well, shit. Oh yeah, dude, I forgot. You're right. I'm an idiot. Never mind. I actually might. Anyway, guys,
what are you talking about?
I'm tired, dude, man. I'm going on like no sleep.
Well, let me know. Let me know if you're going to, because tomorrow's Wednesday and I open tomorrow and then I close on Thursday. So,
well, you know what? How about this? Unless I'm doing pontificators tomorrow, which I don't know, we can do like we can talk about the show after.
Okay.
So stay tuned, guys. There might be a surprise second episode for the Wrestling Council this week. But here we go. Boom. We're gonna have to get a sound effect for you.
Yeah.
But anyway, guys, thanks for hanging out with us, guys. Thanks to everybody that was here. Rummet, new guy, Malacito, Hicks Villain,
Boogie.
Courtney, Boogie Bentley, Big Daddy, Leg Kick, Johnny Cage. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate you guys. We'll see you guys next week.
Or maybe tomorrow.
Or maybe tomorrow. You never know. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Bye, guys.